All right, everybody, welcome to the Chew Doing Podcast. My name's Abe.
My name's Trent.
And who do we have running our system today? We have good old...
As you can tell, last week we had some technical issues with the video.
It's not my fault.
It would be this guy over here.
It's my fault. Yep.
No,
When
it's
you
also
give an audio guy a video guy's job.
It's true.
that's actually. I feel like it's not anybody's fault.
It's my fault.
It's my fault too. But
Well, you bought the cheap camera. It only records 30 minutes at a time,
Last-
so got to deal with deal
Can
with
we
that.
actually... Okay, can you tell me about that? Why does it do that? I know it does that on the Girls Podcast, too.
okay, well, it doesn't do that.
Wait, before...
Oh yeah, we forgot.
We forgot
dude.
this.
Oh yeah. Well, we got to do it at the same time.
We got to flick of our wrist. All right.
3, 2.
Wait, we count down?
It's on one.
It's going to be like 3, 2, 1.
Bam.
Shh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's after one.
we
we're gonna
did this
get this.
last week.
I forgot. There was a lot of issues last week.
Well, I'm gonna do it right on. So you're gonna on one.
On one.
Okay, on one or is it?
On one. Who's counting?
Me.
So it'll be 3, 2. Shh.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's
Okay,
it.
here we
That's
go.
it. That's the money.
All right, 3, 2.
You all suck, man. That gives me
We did it
anxiety.
better last
It gives me like messed up.
I'm going to have the bubble guts in a little bit.
Yeah, so back to the reason it does that. So I have a camera that it's Sony camera.
Sony
The Sony cameras only record 30 minutes at a time, and it
No
stops.
matter how big the memory card is?
Yeah, the memory card is not what it is. There's some sort of regulation that is actually no longer valid, but it's like doesn't categorize my camera, which is just a DSLR,
Okay.
as a video camera. So in order to, I don't know, it's like it can only record 30 minutes. But
Regulation like it's legal?
it's like not considered a video camera.
Gotcha.
So it's not supposed to. This guy over here is Googling cheap cameras.
yeah, go ahead and put up a picture of
You guys want to know what Trent, if we want to know what
actually
we're
looks
shooting
like.
the podcast
Please.
with, that's what it looks like right there. Top
Yeah,
right.
I mean. Anyways, so they have hacks that you can install on the cameras, and it
I'm
it
dead
takes-
at that camera.
it takes off of the 30-minute recording thing. But my camera's new and it doesn't have a hack yet, and so it stops recording at 30 minutes. But also, what happened last week is we externally record on the computer, and that screwed up, and then also the camera screwed up. So we just have audio for the last portion of the podcast. But
Yes.
anyways, we got it fixed.
Whose fault was that? Whose main fault was that?
It was mainly my fault.
The first week I got in trouble for not talking loud enough.
No. You were plenty loud. You're just not talking into the microphone.
Okay. Well, either way, this week I think we're going to get it down.
Either way.
We've got a name. We've got music.
We got social media.
Social media.
You have social.
We got some social media,
Yes.
and we have no content posted.
But we have
yet.
got a whopping
There we have
10
we have 10
followers.
10 followers on Instagram.
Can we go through that and let's see who our most famous is?
I don't know if you can do that.
Can you look at each phone? Oh.
Oh,
Hold
up.
Oh, look at all the spam.
hold up.
Is movie foam?
We have
Oh,
like tons
spam.
of my family on there, like Mahul Mahoneshe.
Who is
There's a
that?
name in Farsi you can't even read.
Oh, there's me.
Shout out to
Dude,
my family.
shout out to the first 10 followers.
Yes.
Who's?
They don't even know what's going on.
Oh.
Yeah.
We haven't posted anything.
Oh.
They saw
wow.
the profile picture, which if you're listening and you're not watching, go to the Instagrams, go to the Twitters.
Go to YouTube. Dude, did you almost die?
I did.
You almost
This sparkling water, bro.
he almost took his last breath right there.
Yeah.
We got a Twitter.
It's called Chew Doing Podcast.
Dude, does anybody even use Twitter anymore?
I don't know, man. People just. I hear Twitter's just like a big. You see the worst things of the internet on it now.
It's a
rather than-
cancerous
I feel
social
Yeah,
media.
I don't know.
Twitter is definitely the like celebrities. Celebrities and businesses use Twitter. I don't feel like real people use Twitter. High schoolers used to. It's all about Instagram now because we're visual people. We're stimulated by the things that we see.
Yeah, like the.
If
like
you
the
have
butt chin
questions,
on this
if you do
picture.
have questions, hit us up on our Twitter because I feel like that's way easier to.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
No, just message us, however.
yeah, whatever. We also have a YouTube, but okay. So did you know that with YouTube, unless you have, I think it's 100 subscribers, they don't give out what's it called, custom URLs for your YouTube.
Only if you have 100?
Yeah, you have to like pass all this criteria.
I feel like if you look up YouTube / the username, isn't that your custom thing?
No.
No, it gives you one when you start one. Like we started one, but it's like a bunch of numbers.
No, I have one. Look,
Yeah, but when did you start yours?
years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine
that's
is.
why.
I have.
All the new ones you can't.
Yeah, they don't. So like you could change yours if you had 100 subscribers, even though you have a custom one. You could change it if you met the criteria.
Gotcha.
Like when they started out, you could choose your URL, but
Gotcha.
now you don't even get to choose it,
Yeah.
and you can change it when you.
And I don't
reach
feel like it's
100
choosing your. I
subscribers.
think mine's just like my first. It's like youtube.com/ my like username or whatever. You know?
Yeah, but anyway, subscribe to our YouTube channel
It's pretty
because
dope.
we're going to be posting all these videos. Are we gonna do a Vimeo?
I feel like
Who
Vimeo
uses- who
is.
uses
I
Vimeo?
feel like Vimeo is like if you have videos that you're like posting online for like your business.
Like your reel?
Yes. Like, okay, a bunch of churches use Vimeo because they're like, this is how we're going to promote our series. And like all their stuff is on there or whatever. So that's just what I'm saying. That's just what I'm saying. We were just talking about something, though.
I think the copyright stuff is probably not as bad on Vimeo.
Vimeo, because it's not like super widely followed. I guess that makes sense. I
Isn't
guess that makes
YouTube
sense.
going through some weird controversy? Like they're not taking care of their people or something like that.
I think
I'm
that's been the
I'm
case
saying this,
for
but
the
I have no
beginning.
idea.
I don't know.
what
I
is
feel
going
like it's Google. I feel like no matter what, it would be pretty good. But then again, Google has like a million people to pay for. So
yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
yeah. So. Anyways,
Sorry.
should we get
Well, let's get the ball rolling. You
get
know what
the
I'm
ball
saying?
rolling. All right,
all right,
sorry, dude.
so-
we just got
okay.
Lauren
So-
just walked in. I'm sorry. This
Let's-
is so
let's
funny.
just acknowledge
Let's get
it.
She just ruined it, dude. She ruined it.
LG,
She walked in.
the
That's why I got all
queen,
awkward.
walked into the room right now. She thought she was entering in all quietly.
So
Very loud.
Everyone heard the.
Yeah.
We'll have to blur out the.
Yeah.
how do you blur out a fart noise? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Just covered up with a louder fart.
Challenge accepted. Okay. So I wanted to talk about something that I've been getting a lot of. We have a lot of like techie talk today. And so this last week at work, I feel like 10 times a day, my phone, it has that new update, iPhone shout out, has that new update where it lets you know if you're getting a spam call.
Oh yeah, I saw that the other day.
So I thought I had saved it. I was like, "Oh, how smart of me! I made
No, yeah,
a
it
number
shows
for
up as
spam
like
calls.
it shows up as like
It literally says spam.
mine
Could be
says
spam.
fraud. Mine said fraud risk.
Ooh, mine says spam.
I don't get spam that often.
Um,
I say that.
mine says spam risk.
I say
That's
that.
Weird.
I say that, and then we're gonna put this on the internet, and now I'm gonna start getting spams.
Yes, the phone's always listening. But yeah, so I got this new thing, and I keep seeing spam risk. I'm like, man, did I save that number? Well, then one popped up, and it said Apple Care. And I was like, Apple Care never calls. For all of you people that are listening, if you are not tech savvy, if you're old, if you're an adult, if you're somebody that just doesn't have that common sense, and you see Apple Care is calling, but yet it is someone that's clearly from across the globe, That is not Apple. I don't work for them anymore. They will never call you for anything. But they call these people, and when I used to work for Apple, this happened all the time. They would call them and they'd say, one of your iTunes ID's credit card got compromised. And so they're like, which account are you currently using on your phone? And you tell them, and then they're like, okay, we'll need the password to get in so we can override it to verify that it's you. And they end up getting in. They buy a ton of stuff on your account. They're not really hacking your credit card, but like they can buy a bunch of stuff with it, like tech related through the iTunes app or whatever. I mean, think about your Apple ID, like it's linked up to all your different stuff.
A lot of stuff.
So, anyways, so we used to get a lot of those. And then we get the fraud risk ones. And this was messed up. All right. Once again, if you are getting a bunch of these calls, here's what to look out for. We used to have people come into the Apple store. This is when I worked in New York. And it happened a lot more in New York because New York is just full of very rich old people. And specifically the store I worked at on the Upper East Side, some of the rich, it's, I think right behind them and 90210 go back and forth as like the two richest zip codes in America. At least that's what they told me when I started. But we have a lot of
90210?
Beverly Hills.
Oh.
Yeah. So we go back and forth just constantly. It's like, who's the richest? And so we have a ton of old people up there, just very naive. They didn't grow up with technology and all this like fraud stuff. And they walk in and they're kind of shaky. They would come up and they would be like, I need to buy some gift cards today, like very straight to the point, but they always had like headphones in. I was like, weird. These old people are listening to music. Just doesn't happen. Everything's out of the ordinary. So I'd be like, yeah, how many do you need? They're like, I need 30 gift cards. I'm like, for what? And they said, well, I need about, let's just make up an amount, 7,000, 8,000. I'm like, oh, like
Dollars per?
Like let's just say they needed anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 total. Well, you have to split that up.
For all split up.
Yeah, split up.
Okay.
Split up. So they need like 10. Let's just say $10,000. So we have to split that up between. I feel like 8, 9. I don't know, some dumb amount. I think you can do 1,000 on a card. I don't know. So I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get you 10 different gift cards, and I'd go to the back. I'd be weirded out, but I'd come and ring them out, and I'd come out and they'd seem really shaky. And I remember there was one time they were talking with the manager and there was a bunch of employees around. There was a police officer. Well, long story short, they were on the phone with somebody. My manager caught wind of what I was doing and he walks over to her, asks her what's going on. And she was like whispering. She covers the mic on her little headset. And she's like, the FBI is on the phone with me right now. They have one of my family members in custody, and they said because I owe back taxes or something, and I need to pay them off using
Apple gift cards.
It's the dumbest thing, but people are using gift cards because you can make money off of them. Number one, like you can just get. So what happens is they scare you into giving them that information. They either say they're the police, the FBI, or one of your family members is injured and they're in the hospital. We can't start the surgery until we pay off this bill. One of the most common and safe ways of paying it is by using a gift card because it's traceable. So they trick these old people into they're like, we use Apple gift cards because it's a traceable amount. So you can always have your records for it. And you don't have to give us your credit card if you don't feel safe. So in essence, these old people feel like, okay, because I'm not giving them my credit card, I'll buy a ton of Apple gift cards, take off the code on the back and repeat the code to them. And as soon as you give them that PIN, however much money is theirs. And we had one lady come in and she's bawling, crying once we figure out what's going on. Luckily, there was a police officer there. He kind of got on the phone and scared those people off. And we stopped her from sending like $7,000 in Apple gift cards. And because once you tell them that amount, they just hang up the phone. They're like, okay, thank you. Nobody was ever hurt. Number one,
tell
who
them the
has you paid?
numbers on their gift card.
They told them the numbers and they would hang up. Well, so I thought we had like saved this lady's day, and she was like, "Thank you so much. I was so scared for my daughter." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, at least you didn't send it." She had already earlier that day done $10,000, $10,000, and she was about to do another $7,000 because they were like, "We need it." And so, yeah, people are insane out there.
I know somebody who got scammed with gift cards like that.
Gosh. Yeah. It's
Somebody
kind
we
of
know
horrible.
bought a lens.
With a gift card?
It was a used lens. I'm trying to remember. She bought it. She was buying this used lens, and it was like, I guess, a little bit cheaper than buying it brand new. So she was like about to buy it, and the guy had asked for a gift card or something like that, and she gave him the number on. She put the money on the
no.
gift card. What is it? It was maybe would have been a Visa gift
Yeah,
card.
it's probably
maybe?
one of those temporary cards.
Yeah, and she read him the
Is it
stuff
someone I
got
know?
scammed. Yes.
No. Okay, no shame.
Why would you put that on a debit card? What?
I love you.
I always thought she was a ghost, you know?
My gosh.
I haven't seen her
But
in
you know what?
years.
Hey, we all live and learn. You're an Upper East Sider now. So, but LG, your wife Trent, showed me this girl one time. Her name is IRL Rosie IRL something. She is the best. She has an entire YouTube channel about pranking these callers. So I actually did this the other week, and before we go, we'll play one of the clips. But before, I got one of these calls, and I was at work, and I saw it was AppleCare. So I hopped on real quick. I jumped over to my phone. My coworker was next to me, and I put that sucker on speakerphone. And it's this guy. He starts asking me all these questions about my account, and I always switch into like Southern mode. And I was like, yes, so I got this phone, and I got this call from the AppleCare, and y'all got to fix this dang Fruity phone because I don't know what's going on. It says I got a virus, and y'all are calling me. And he's like, yeah, one of your cards is compromised. Can you go ahead and let me know which card you have on the account? And I was like, well, I just canceled the card. I just got back from a trip to Belize. Have you ever been to Belize? And I just went on this whole rant with him. I was probably on the phone for like 15, 20 minutes. And he starts saying well, I need you to let me know where your card is. And I was like, well, let me tell you what, it's in this beach. Well, are you going to go to Belize sometime soon? Just go on this whole rant. And then he finally hung up on me. But this girl you're about to hear, if you're listening, you'll see if you're watching, she has the best pranks for these people. Go to that second one I sent you that starts on 155. It was that other link. Nope. She has a green background behind her. That one there. Okay. So essentially, this guy who she was trying to talk with on eBay or whatever was trying to sell her this thing, or Craigslist. And he was like, a member from eBay will be calling you soon to verify the purchase and take your payment, which is the dumbest thing. It'll come from a normal number, whatever. So go ahead and hit play. But she does hands down the best fake telephone Alexa operator thing.
Use them. Here we go.
Thank you for calling eBay customer support. My name is John. How may I help you today?
Thank you for calling eBay customer service. For English, press 1.
What is this?
This
Are you
call
there?
may be
Can you hear me?
monitored and recorded for quality assurance. To confirm your purchase of 9 cards.
Oh, whatever. But anyways, so she's combating these people. And I don't know, have y'all ever had a bunch of these call-ins?
I've had stuff. I've had somebody saying that I owe back taxes. I've done that.
Which
I get the one that
brings
says,
me to another thing we'll get to later. Don't let me forget.
Oh my gosh. I got ones that are right when you answer, it's just somebody, it's an automated machine and it wants to know
About your warranty
about
on
my
your car?
About my car warranty. Yeah. It's
Oh, yeah, I've had those too.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I get those. I get the warranty ones. I always get the ones, and it's always somebody from India. And it's something about it's always your credit card, something like that. That's what I get most of the time. Do y'all ever answer and mess with them?
I don't answer anymore, and honestly, I don't get them a whole lot anymore. I used to, but I had recently changed my number
Yeah.
because I was getting 15 calls a day,
Yeah.
and I hadn't had the number for over 10 years. So
Gotcha.
getting a new number kind of changed that.
Yeah. No, I've had my number since 7th grade. Yeah,
See, that's
Yeah, same here.
7th grade. So it's in crap ton of databases or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, Nathan, do you just hang up on them or what?
I think I have, when I do get an actual person, I just like to go, yeah? Yeah? Like, but you say it in a question,
Yeah.
and then they just get frustrated immediately and just hang up. So it's like,
Yeah.
with the automated ones. I
Yeah?
normally just immediately start pressing like 0, and
Oh.
then
And then you type in your credit card number. Nice.
I always like to test because the automated ones are really good sometimes because they'll plan it out. Like they know exactly. I'll answer, "Hello, hi there, sir. Hey, I just want to take a second of your time." And I'm like, "Oh, damn, it's a real person." But then
Yeah.
I always go, "Hey, hey, 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 hey." But they ask you a question. They go, "Do you have a second to chat today?" Sure. Okay, thank you for taking out
Then
some
you hear the
time.
bloop. It's like, oh, that was a machine. Sweet.
It's like anytime you answer an automated machine, you always hear like weird little keyboard sounds in the background right after you talk. It's like, would you
the
like?
recordings are all like crappy. Like
Yes.
they have like anomalies at the beginning of them.
But even when you call like AT&T, Apple, or whatever, it's like, would you like to speak to a specialist today? Yes. And then you hear,
Oh, that's
Okay.
intentional though.
Okay.
It's that.
No,
That's
no,
intentional though.
no, but it's not. It's not like do it. It's like very. It literally sounds like somebody's on a keyboard. Like, okay, I'll connect you to a specialist today.
I mean, that kind of sounds. That kind of gives. That kind
Maybe I know it's legit. Like if it's doing that.
Is that sound?
That's that
the
sound,
sound.
and it goes for like a few seconds. I'm like, is somebody typing in my response? And it goes to somebody else. Anyways, but I think this girl, like, if look her up, IRL Rosie, she does the best voice impressions. I don't know. I was watching it all today. I was really consumed with it, and number one, I think she's really cool for doing that and just wasting their time. It's always funny when they get frustrated, but she literally does like the best impressions.
what's the real reason you follow this girl, Abe?
I can help you with that. I don't know.
Are we going to play this one here at 132?
Yeah, why not? I forget what this one was. I forget what she does here.
I don't know.
Having an issue with my computer, and it said to call this number as soon as possible.
Oh.
I know what was the issue, ma'am.
I'm not sure what the issue was. Please tell me again. Oh, sorry, you just you set off my Alexa. My computer seems to be frozen. It just said to call this number because I might lose all my information. I just don't want that to happen.
She's extremely cute too. But anyways, that's about it. These go on for a long time, so it's not something like we'll cover all of, but I always thought these were funny, and I was like stuck all day watching these little suckers, and so I thought they were really good.
All day, huh?
All day long. That's what I do for work. All day long. Now, I do want to go back to something though, because Trent, you get a bunch of calls about back taxes, right?
I mean, I've gotten a few.
Okay. Now, some of these might be real because if I recall, and I think you told Nathan or David this too.
I
few-
specifically remember a conversation
A
about
few years
this.
ago, when he was actually living in New York at the time.
Yeah.
It was tax season or coming up. I was there for Thanksgiving. I was getting ready. I was like, cool, taxes are coming up. in a
Dude,
few
look at
months.
Trent, dude. He's folding
He's-
inside out right now, dude. Look at him.
And Trent goes,
I do my taxes, okay?
okay, but he goes, dude, we are not required to pay taxes.
we are not.
You don't
required
have
to pay
taxes.
taxes.
They can't do anything to you for not paying taxes. And I'm like, have you seen all of these stupid celebrities who go to
Steven
jail?
Seagal?
He went to jail?
No, I don't know. He sounds like somebody who wouldn't pay taxes.
Oh.
Well, now I got to Google it. But
Well, now I'm wanted because I have back taxes because I took advice from my
Hey, man.
financial
Hey, man.
advisor,
Hey, man.
Trent.
Hey, man. You know, I do pay my taxes, but you know,
Stars with tax problems.
Steven Seagal.
Well, there was a year
He's
where
on the
you were
list.
very convinced that nobody in the world had to pay taxes.
Yep. You were really convinced, Trent. You were very passionate about not paying taxes.
I mean, you don't have to pay your taxes.
You
There's
do.
ways around. There's ways around it.
There's ways
There's
around in the
loop-
sense that the government is still going to get their taxes, whether you pay it one way or
Well,
another.
Yeah, but you can do less. You can pay less. Look
So-
at Trump. Look at how much freaking tax evasion that guy's done. He just
hasn't
knows
released
how to.
his tax records
He just
yet,
knows how to
so-
do it.
It's true. I have the best taxes in the entire world. The best. Was that a good impression?
I use H&R Block.
use
It's
H&R
it's
Block.
the best.
The free version, premium.
Ooh,
Extra
actually, if you could
$19.99.
read the top for me here,
Tax
Trent.
evasion is illegal.
Oh.
Everybody, it is illegal.
If you
But
could read that
Actually,
for
we're
me
not
real
your
quick.
tax professionals. That's a legal thing we have to tell you. So please do not take any advice from us. Talk to your TurboTax.
you do
H&R
have to
Block
pay
professional.
taxes, but there's ways you can pay less.
See, that was not the
Yeah,
argument that.
Yeah, that's not what you said though.
No,
As you and I know you were drinking a cappuccino.
It was in New York, and I remember I had this conversation with you, and I remember I Googled it afterwards, dude. I Googled it because I was very
I was very
excited.
confused that you'd be so passionate about something that would be so ridiculous,
Illegal.
that you would actually believe. I'd be like, dude,
there's
Trent,
a specific.
there's no way
tax.
Trent believes this.
It's
There's
alright.
a specific tax.
Trent got a call from the IRS that's saying, like, if you pay your taxes in Apple gift cards, we'll go ahead.
He goes, dude.
I can help you with
Dude,
that.
sign me up, man.
410-23754. That's tax evasion still. Okay, but like as independent, you're an independent contractor, right?
No comment.
No.
No,
I'm
okay.
not.
I didn't know if you could like, because like our independent contractors at my place of work, I tell all of them like track your mileage. There's apps you can use that'll track all that, or you can just write it down. How does anybody know they actually traveled those miles?
Mile IQ. It's an app. I think it's called Mile IQ.
It is. It's
It
possible. a
probably
bunch of
doesn't
YouTube
accept any random.
No, because you can write down
No,
your.
Since when? Okay, when you're doing your taxes. Did it get really quiet? Oh, the AC turned off.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, TurboTax is where it's at, man.
I use TurboTax.
Sure you do.
Okay, but something about these. Okay, taxes, yes, or mileage.
So when you're like doing your, what do you call them?
When you're doing your
When you're doing your taxes and you're putting in your, what's the word? Why can I not remember this word?
What are you talking about?
You're putting in your exemptions.
Yeah, exemptions,
No, your deductions.
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 Yes, we're pros here, you know. When you're putting those in, who checks those?
That's the thing. I'm wondering because
Nobody checks them unless
You get audited.
I mean, obviously, if you get audited, they're going to look at your past.
How do they choose who to
stuff.
audit?
But no, when you do your taxes, there's a like calculator that tells you how likely you are to get audited based on the information you just put in. So if you like put in this sketchy crap,
Right.
you have a higher chance of being audited.
but like my
But with the mileage, who's going to check your mileage? You know.
right, because no one's gonna know. They can't be like, well, let's rewind. No one can check the history of what you drove. So like my independent contractors, I say they're not really mine, but it sounds cooler. My independent contractors that I operate here, essentially, there's apps that they can use, or we tell them, honestly, if you're old school, just write it down. Keep a journal in your car, do beginning and ending from whenever you're doing these jobs. And you can claim those because when it comes to tax season, literally just has you write them all down and insert them, how many miles you went, and you get that nice little deduction. It's like 50 cents a mile. So, I mean, if you drive 1,000 miles for work, you're getting about $500 deducted from your taxes, which in turn could put you in the green and you can get a bunch of money.
Yeah, but
who's checking that?
Using the app, nobody is. But when you use the app, it's pretty cool because I used to use it when I first started
Mile
my
IQ?
business. Yeah, that's the one I used. I used that at first, but it just got super annoying because you basically have to go in there and it logs all of your trips, and you have to go in there and you have to be like, okay, is this one for work or personal? And it just, and I would do it like every week, and it just got really annoying. And I was just like, you know what? I don't really care. I don't even drive that much for work, so I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
put that as my deductions.
Yeah. A lot of our runners do. They track all theirs because it's like a huge chunk of income that they could be taking. But still, that's
Plus
crazy
it's
that
their
literally
job.
no one's. Yeah, it's essentially, yeah, they are driving.
It's like half of their job, basically.
It is crazy that you can literally input your taxes and no one's actively sitting there being like, okay, because every time I do my taxes, like I did my New York, there was 1 year I had Texas, New York, and Colorado. I feel like all in one for some strange reason. And I input all of them, and within like 10 minutes, it said, your taxes have been approved. You'll be receiving your direct deposit
Dude,
in
that's what's so
1
strange.
to 2 business days.
And you get it immediately. It's
Yeah.
weird.
And I'm like, no one's checking. I could have entered in like,
Yeah, but you've been employed. You're employed by
That's right.
somebody.
yeah.
So it's like you have
I'm not a
actual
high risk.
you have actual tax documents from a legitimate business stating how much
That's
income
true.
you made.
It's
So
not like I was an independent contractor saying, oh,
Yeah.
I only made this much.
yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I get it. Yeah. So, Nathan, did you make, this is personal. I'm not going to ask. You made a bunch of money this last year in your taxes, yeah? Do you do your taxes every year?
Yeah, every year, man.
H&R or Turbo?
TurboTax, man.
Yeah.
I use TurboTax as well. I always have.
I got a nice return.
I
last
do it
year.
right when it comes out. I get that paper, fill that sucker out. It's real nice.
I feel like this year we got
Takes so
the
little time to
most.
do it.
I feel like this year we got the most back because when we were in New York, we got a lot of taxes taken out of our, and that was, I mean, I think we got like $7,000 or something.
Back?
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, this
Yeah.
year I got more taxes back from New York than I did federally, which you never get more on the state back. Hardly ever, at least.
Yeah.
You hardly ever get more from the state back. It's always like $50 compared to like $700 from federal. And this year I got like almost $1,000 back from New York and only like 500 federal. So it was kind of insane.
Yeah. When I was working in New York, I chose to take out a lot. Like, what is it? You claim, what is it?
You claim like
3?
1 or 2 dependents or something like that. The number is 0 if you're...
You don't want.
When you claim 0, they're going to take the most. No. You want to claim 0.
I feel like
'cause
everything
they
we're
take
talking
the
about
most
with
out.
taxes is just just not right. It's totally wrong.
True. Once
Like, I
again,
feel
talk
like
to your tax professional.
Just like spitting out stuff that's not real.
Yeah, whatever one I chose, it was like the maximum taxes taken out. So I was like getting a lot of money taken out of my taxes when I was working at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
But I feel like Lauren was the one who got most of that because when I was working in New York, for half of the time, I was just working my Texas business.
Gotcha.
And I was just living in New York,
Yeah.
running my Texas business.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, this year was good.
We'll clarify with someone, because I actually want to ask a couple of these questions. We'll clarify with someone who I feel like would know tax. I feel like
I don't think anybody is listening to this podcast thinking like, writing this down like, I mean, somebody's
But
probably like,
I'm
oh,
very interested. I feel like you
Somebody's
could
prob-
ask Austin Hagen. He'd be like, oh, yeah, man, you got to do this tax. He's a smart guy.
he's a lawyer. He's not a tax
Mm.
professional.
Oh, that's true. But I got a lot back this year.
Somebody at home is like, oh my God, you don't have to pay taxes. Sweet.
That's how I was when you told me.
I'm going to look into this.
Pay your taxes because you'll get, hopefully, a lot of money back, which would help for some unexpected expenses. But anyways,
Yeah, like Nesquik or Eggo waffles.
I love Eggo waffles, by the way.
You know, I've been buying the H-E-B brand ones.
Those suck, dude.
And they suck.
No, they're literally all the same.
No, dude.
No,
There's a
dude.
few things you can't change. You
Dude,
can't go
they're
off brand.
not the
The-
same.
what do you buy, the
can't-
buttermilk or the home style?
Buttermilk every time, dude.
I don't feel like
Buttermilk.
there's a difference, though.
They're the
when you buy
same-
buttermilk or
Yeah,
home style,
dude,
I
they're
want to know,
totally the
like,
same.
is this the same thing? It's just you put a blue label versus
There's
an
some
orange.
things you can't get like off brands of. Like you can't get off brand Windex.
Yes, you can. Cleaning products, go to Dollar General
Yeah.
all the time or the Dollar
no, dude,
Tree.
but specifically Windex. Try and clean a mirror with that. It says glass cleaner. Oh, sweet. No, doesn't clean the glass. Windex.
Would you buy
It smells like cat piss because it's ammonia.
off-brand?
But, you know.
Would you buy off-brand Fabuloso?
I was literally about to say Fabuloso. Who
Dude,
cleans with
Fabuloso's-
Fabuloso? It's the
Dude,
best cleaner.
That stuff cleans like
That
no
stuff
other.
smells so good.
Yep.
Looks like juice.
It's every single Mexican
Kool-Aid.
restaurant in San
They put it
Antonio.
right next to the Gatorade on purpose.
If you go to any Mexican restaurant right now in San Antonio, actually across the country, and you say, "Hey, let me see your cleaning supplies," guess what? They have 5 freaking 3-gallon jugs of in the back.
They have those
Fabuloso.
plastic buckets from the Dollar Tree, man, and those Fabuloso things are.
No, they have the old those yellow mop buckets on wheels, the ones that the school threw out. They were in the back, and they went and took them because they're like, "Yeah, I'll go ahead and take these." Heck yeah,
Those
every
mops
Mexican
are so
restaurant has
gross.
those. Yeah.
I used to use one of those when I worked at Whataburger. Yeah, my
Cleaning
manager
up
used to
the
tell me that.
honey butter.
She said, "I like the way you mop." She used to tell me that. It was real.
Really? Was he looking at you? Was like, I don't know,
She.
was it creep? Ooh, it's a she. I like the way you mop, Nathan.
Yeah, it's actually exactly how she said it.
And what was what
was-
was your reply?
She's like,
You mean
You
you
should
just
see
say
what else I
thank
can
you,
clean
you
up.
Say yes, may I have? Thank you, ma'am.
May I go on my break now? I can have his
Dude,
break.
She was so strict with the labor percentage, trying to make the labor percentage of every hour that I would get to work, and she'd be like, I'd clock in, I'd be there for 2 minutes. She'd be like, "Nate, go on break." I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're not selling enough burgers, but
Yeah.
I guess I'll eat one now and get fatter."
It's all right, dude. Yeah, freaking Fabuloso, dude.
you get hour breaks or 30-minute breaks?
30 minutes.
Dude, 30-minute breaks suck.
Hey, they do.
Or
It's a
30-minute lunch breaks.
It's
suck.
not enough
if
time
you're-
to do anything.
No, it's not. I remember being in New York. It's like that's the thing. You have 30-minute lunch breaks, and that's just enough time to go somewhere and get food, and maybe come back and have enough time to eat it.
Yeah.
gotta
Gosh,
eat it
especially
on
in
the
New
way
York,
back.
a 30-minute break. Because by the time you walk somewhere, there's crosswalks. Is it raining?
And then it's lunchtime, and the line is long.
And then you have the one person at the front. You only take debit or credit. You don't take cash anymore, but it says it's legal tender. I love that they only play that a lot of places. Back in the day, like 2013, they used to only take cash a bunch of places. And now everyone, due to safety, they're all taking debit or credit only. I love it.
I mean, I like the idea of it. It's like, okay, you have you don't have cash on you, but you also don't have a freaking debit card on
Yes.
you. Dude, that's your fault.
Yeah. Who doesn't even have Google Pay, Apple Pay, anything
That's
that?
yeah, that's like if you go to, so I have American Express, and a lot of places don't accept American Express, but I have
Which I don't know why.
It's because American Express has pretty insane benefits for their for their cardholders, and the way they achieve such benefits is they charge small businesses lots of money to
use it?
accept American Express credit cards. So it's not great for small
Trent's
businesses.
trying to brag and flex about all his benefits. Over
Yeah.
here.
Oh, I lived in New York.
You
How
got
many
this-
times are you going to say
is your-
that? And
is
I
your
have
card
American
metal too? It
Express.
makes a little noise when you throw it on the counter.
It is, man. It is.
Yeah. All right. Well,
But-
Nathan, do you have a metal card?
no, mine's very plastic and very lightweight.
Oh, you got that Credit Human card. Credit Human.
Actually, I think the front of it says Dollar Tree.
Credit. The Dollar Tree. You
Yeah.
got to use it there to get points.
Yep.
Okay, but what were you about to say, Trent? We're talking about credit cards and
Oh,
paying only.
yeah. So I mean, if a lot of places, is it MasterCard? Everybody gets MasterCard,
I
right?
like Dollar Tree, by the way. I'm not like.
I like
I
Dollar Tree,
love
too.
Dollar Tree. It's actually really good.
Anyways, I
on
was going to tell a
certain
story about I was working in a coffee truck here in town, and we essentially got robbed, but it was not exciting. It wasn't, we were held at gunpoint or anything like that.
Yeah.
So basically, me and the owner working in this coffee truck, this guy comes up and he orders a drink and he gives us what does he give us? he gives us a $10 bill or something like that, or he gives us some amount of money. And then, so we're like ringing him up and he goes, whoa, hold on. How much is that? And, oh yeah. So he gives us a 20. He goes, oh, how much is that? And we were like, oh, $5. And he was like, nah, man, that's too expensive. Give my money back. So we give him his 20 back.
Oh no.
Swaps it for a 1 or a 5. And he was like, yo, I gave you a 20. And we remember he gave us a 20, and we have this 5 or a 1. I feel like it was a 5 in our hand. And we're like really confused. And the drawer is open, and we're like, what the heck? So we put the 5 back in there, grab a 20, and we're like, we give it to him. And we were just
And
sitting
he
there.
swapped it again and was like, yo, I gave you a 20.
No, he only did it once. And we were like really sketched out by this guy to begin with, because he was just, you could kind of tell he wasn't there to get coffee. He was just like,
You can spot it right
yeah,
away.
yeah.
When someone's acting shady.
They like pulled up in this car and they went into the, oh, this is what happened. So that happens. And we were like, that guy's super weird, whatever. So we're like chilling. The business next to us, the guy came out and he was just like, hey, did that guy steal money from y'all? And we were like, what are you freaking
Was
talking
it the
about?
bonsai guy?
No, it was the gas station
it was the
guy.
gas station guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, that guy just came in and tried to like steal money from me. And we were like, what do you mean? And he literally like said the same exact thing that happened to us, except we fell for it. And he was like, get out of here.
That's
And we were
so
like,
funny.
oh, dude, we just got robbed.
That's crazy.
I mean, dude was like,
You make up for
dude
it for
was
like
smooth
make up
about
for
it.
like 2
But-
coffees though in that truck.
There are people that are not
Yeah.
smooth. At Apple, we'd get these guys. A lot of people try and like screw over Apple because they have a ton of money, obviously. And for them, it's like a drop in that. And Apple will give away a ton because they're like, I don't really care. You want to take some stuff? That's fine. Totally cool. We used to have these guys around Christmas time. They'd come in and they always go down to the accessories part of our store. And our store specifically, we had a downstairs area, wasn't monitored that much. There was only 1 or 2 employees down there. It was all of like phone cases, accessories, gift cards, yada, yada, yada. Well, they would come down and they would always give way too much information. There was one guy that was horrible. So I'm talking to him and he's like, hey man, and I remember it started off just real bad. It was just like, hey, yo man, say. I was like, all right, this is gonna be a great interaction. So he comes up and he wants to buy, it's like $250 worth of gift cards. Just whatever. He's like, I need $250 worth of gift cards, but I need it split in half. And I was like, split in half. So I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, I don't know what this is. What is that, 125? Yeah. So he needs 125. And I don't even ask. He goes, yeah, man, these are for my mom's. And I'm like, all right, cool, dude. That's totally fine. And as I'm scanning the gift cards, if you're watching, like this, I'm not over exaggerating. If you're not watching, imagine you all of a sudden got the worst stomach cramp and you're literally, it's about to explode out the backside. Like, and he all of a sudden just goes, ooh, like eyes get all big, and the security guard is standing by me. He's like, oh, bro, I have these bad cramps. Can I have a seat? I'm like, yeah, dude, go ahead and take a seat. And I think he's being for real. And he's like, ooh, can you get me a bottle of water? I was like, yeah, dude, like, let me go get you a bottle of water. Like, dude, have a seat. Like, totally chill out. So I run to the back, get him a bottle of water. I come back out, and he's sitting there still holding his stomach. He's looking around. He's like, ooh, okay, can you ring me out for these cards? And I was like, yeah, sure. What scammers are doing now is they're getting people's actual like credit card numbers and they're putting them on dummy cards. Well, at Apple, we always do the chip. Like if it has a chip, it has to go in the machine to do a chip. Most places have that now. So I'd insert it and it says like chip failure, unable to read chip. And it's on my little phone device. And I'm like, oh, buddy, this isn't working. Oh, try it again. No. He proceeds to go through about 7 different credit cards, all with the same chip issue. And it'll say chip failure 3 times, and it says swipe it. If you swipe it, it'll go through because it's just going to read the normal credit card number that they've stolen and put it on that card. They're just putting stolen credit card numbers on fake plastic credit cards with a bad
The
chip.
strip.
The strip.
So
They put it
there's
on the
no way
magnetic
to
strip.
do it on the chips.
Correct. You can't do it on a chip. You can never put a credit card number on a chip. So if you swipe it, though, it'll run it just like a normal credit card. And if the customer hasn't caught it already, then it'll go through. Now, granted, the customer is going to get all their money back because they'll mark it as fraud. Apple loses what, like maybe a drop out of like a whole 1,000 buckets of sand.
Yeah.
So it's no big deal, but we would catch them and they would always come in and I'd be like, hey man, I can't swipe your card. And they'd be like, bro, it tells you to swipe it. I'm like, dude, I can't swipe it. And they're like, man, this is making me really mad. And I'd be like, dude, and I finally caught on and I'd scare him. I'd be like, dude, yeah, hey, let me go get my manager so that way we can like figure this out. Like we'll get some information from you and we'll figure out why your card's not working, but we'll help you out. And they'd be like, no, man, dude, don't worry about it, bro. I'll just go to another Apple store. Like these cards are probably fake, but dude, all the time they would come in and it got to the point where like I would do it so much that they would look at me and then like, not because I'm so cool, but they'd walk out the door because I'd be like, hey, what's going on? And they'd be like, oh no, I'm just browsing today. And they would leave.
Hey, what's going on, guy that I've seen scam?
Hey man, you back? Welcome back. Welcome.
That's the
So,
best.
I don't know. But so my whole thing is make sure you carry your debit cards. Make sure you have cash and all that. And so, because if you don't have cash, like if you're walking around or you're making this big old fuss, you don't have Apple Pay or anything on your phone. You want to know why you don't have that? Because you're probably a green texter, which leads me
Oh
my
no,
next-
dude.
to my next point.
Look, man, I got it fixed, man.
There was, I don't know, I'm probably going to get a ton of crap from thousands of our listeners here about.
We got to bring this up. I had a really rough 2.5 weeks.
Okay, so I don't know how many people here text and send out green text messages. Maybe it doesn't show up green for you, but it shows up green for me because I, like many people, am an iPhone user. Trent, what are you?
I'm an iPhone user as well.
Nathan, what are you now?
I'm now an iPhone user.
Now an iPhone user, but were you always?
I had always been up until like a couple of months or a month ago.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I hate, and I don't know if I get it. It's arrogant. It's whatever. It's just a text message. But I mean, the tech world, like there's memes about it. Like if you receive like a green text, like how horrible it is because it comes from an Android phone or whatever. But I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that really quick and
My,
give us your experience with that.
My battery died in my. I have an iPhone 7. Yeah, battery just died. So I figured, you know what? I looked at prices of a new iPhone and it was like ridiculous amount of money because they are expensive.
They are for a reason.
You know, I like to just. I'm kind of old school when I buy things. I like to save up and buy it. If I don't have the money, I don't buy it.
Okay, that's good. That's
pretty
very
simple.
smart.
I don't like payment plans. I don't like credit cards and stuff like that. So I figured, you know what? Let me try, and I can buy all different kinds of phones, and try and get one that's, you know, something similar, and see how it goes. And I ended up buying this phone that's like actually an awesome phone, and I couldn't recommend it anymore to like anybody else who has like is an Android user, but it's called I think it's pronounced Xiaomi or something like that. It's called an A2, a Mi A2. It was awesome phone.
And you bought it from the
Loved
kiosk
it.
in the mall, that little one that's in the middle, the one
Yeah.
that sells hermit crabs.
I
Also,
bought it at Dollar Tree. No, I bought it on Amazon, and I think it's like I think it's like $160 or something like that. And
It's pretty insane for a phone, actually.
it was actually
$160.
It looked amazing. Had amazing battery life. It had like stock Android on it. It was.
You just had to do like what, double A's, triple A batteries, or what?
You're so stupid. Yeah. I mean, everything about the
Oh my
phone was
gosh.
like up to date and pretty awesome. And it has amazing reviews and stuff. But the backlash I got from everyone having green texts was just like a nightmare.
It's the Android is for poor people. That's what.
Dude,
Oh
man,
my
it was
god!
like-
You
everybody.
can't say that on here.
No, I'm not saying that. It's just that's what
It's like-
the meme is online.
Yeah, they're always like.
I like Android.
You know what? And
phones.
I really liked it, man. But I ended up missing like, I missed a lot of text messages from like family members. I wasn't getting like.
Yeah,
I think people were texting me, and it was going to my MacBook and stuff. And during that time, it was
yeah.
just a lot of
Getting
confusion
out,
because all the text messages get routed into iMessage. So,
yeah, getting out of iMessage is kind of like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've had a couple Android phones. I probably went like a year without an iPhone, and then actually just recently, like a couple of, I want to say a couple months ago, I bought that OnePlus 6T phone, and it was great. I really liked it. It was
I know, man. I liked mine a lot too. They're amazing for the price. But
mine was like, the only complaint that I had is it was a little bit too big. It was like a huge phone, and I didn't really like that. I couldn't really like touch the corners and whatnot easily, at least. And then the iMessage thing was really hard to.
Second option.
It was really hard. That's not going to open up in Chrome, just so you know.
No, I know. I just sent him a photo.
Yeah, there's no way to show that.
Open right there. Yeah, it
not-
is.
No, it's not going to
Oh,
show it.
Oh,
dude.
no, we can't. Oh, dang it.
Oh, because it's not linked up. Oh.
I want to. Well, that's because it's an Android, probably. It doesn't work, right? Even memes don't even work right because it's an
Yeah, we're trying to
Android.
throw something up on the screen. Didn't work.
Yeah, I'm really
Send
trying
him the-
here.
Just send him the URL.
I am literally trying.
Anyway, so I had this phone for about 2 weeks, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I missed someone's birthday party apparently because of a group text. I missed an entire birthday party.
Wait, did you really?
Well, I mean, I had no idea about Austin's birthday party thing going on.
Oh, I thought you just didn't want to go.
No, I found out like the day of when I got my iPhone fixed.
Oh, we had some people back out anyways. Like,
Well,
later
I'm just
on, but-
saying, I couldn't take
We
it
were
anymore.
full. We were full thing. We talked about that
that's true.
on the first podcast.
That's true.
The little bicycle ride.
Yeah. Well, I remember. Okay, here's the deal. All I know is I texted Nathan that day, and it immediately went to green. So I was like, "Oh, Nathan's phone must be off, or he's in a bad cell area." So I feel like I texted him about 4 or 5 times to make sure like it went through because you can't check. Which I don't know if I like that or not. I kind of like it because it's like, well, let's just hope and pray that it got there. But then the other things, it's kind of like, I want to know if it was actually delivered. Will Nate hear about
the
this?
iMessage thing having the delivered and that was a nightmare too because I was getting in a lot of like confusing text conversations because it's like I think it would send. I'd be in bad service areas and I think it would send it like really late, and then I was getting I didn't get this text message like till now, and I had sent it hours earlier, so it was just like really confusing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't play well with the
Yeah. So that's honestly what I feel like. Android people are always like, we had it first, but
I do notice like social media, you can like the stuff that's like super pixelated. It's like it's obviously not an iPhone because the iPhone just shows up how it is. It's weird.
there's one that talks about the selfies on an Android, and I'm not gonna put this one up there, but
What is it? You gotta.
no, this one we for sure can't. But I feel like there's one that says like how Android selfies look. This is what it is, dude. It's the guy from Grand Theft. Hold on, I gotta.
It's the
send
guy
this to
from
you,
Grand
dude.
Theft Auto 3.
Yes.
Dude, are you? That they look like cinder blocks, man.
Oh my gosh, I can't find it. Oh my gosh, but yeah, it's freaking hilarious. Hold on, I'm gonna send it over to you. But yeah, I feel like that's what it looks like. And granted, like their commercials are always talking about, oh, this is the greatest phone ever. But every time I see a picture, I can immediately tell if it was taken on an Android because I feel like they're blurry because anytime you press the shutter button, it's 10 seconds before the photo actually like takes or snaps or whatever. But
This is San Andreas.
yeah, we're going way back. That's how the photo actually looks.
Oh my gosh.
How people look on Snapchat with an Android.
I feel like Snapchat quality is just terrible in general. Like,
They have the best filters, though.
okay.
Snapchat quality is pretty terrible.
But they have the best filters.
I don't even use Snapchat anymore. I have it, but
Well, yeah.
Speaking of quality,
Quality
So-
assurance.
so
Hey, yeah, speaking of quality, when I walked in here, something was playing on your surround sound. It sounded incredible.
so
I'm not biased either, you know.
look, I feel like Jimmy Fallon over
I'm
here.
going to tune out because I don't know about any
feel
of the
like-
stuff you're talking
I
about.
feel like Jimmy Fallon over here showing
Look at that, still in the plastic.
it's
Wow.
actually
I'm just kidding. It's not still in the plastic.
Steely Dan, Katie lied. My father-in-law got me a vinyl. He was in Austin. We were actually all in Austin this weekend for a wedding, and he went to this record store. I don't remember what it's called.
Waterloo.
The one we went to?
No, it's not Waterloo. It's called something else. It's called End of an Ear, like
Never heard
EAR.
about that. I feel like Austin has
Rec-
some amazing record stores, though. It's just like it's a live music capital, but
Yeah. Who is it? Were you with me when we were overhearing somebody's conversation about I think we were getting wine, and we overheard that conversation of that guy who was saying how the reason that big acts don't come to San Antonio and they don't play San Antonio and Austin is because there's some sort of contract or breach of contract in play that if you basically can't play both cities like back to back.
weird.
So
I mean, that's true. Nobody ever goes to Austin then San Antonio.
yeah, they don't. They go
to one or the other.
They go from one and then they'll go somewhere else and then they
Yeah.
come back to San Antonio like a little bit
Yeah.
later.
But also, a lot of big acts, and this is totally irrelevant from what we're talking, a lot of big acts will not go to Austin in general unless it's a giant music festival, because Austin doesn't really have venues for giant like performers. So like, what's her name? Who's the big British lady? Never mind. I'll find-
Adele?
Adele, yes.
The big
Which,
British lady.
By
Ah,
the
yeah.
way, shout out Adele. Adele and I share the same birthday, same year, same time of day. Not like exact time, but like we were both born in the morning on May 5th, 1988. So, anyways,
You just give everybody your personal information. Nice.
that's good. They can
They just need
call
your
me on my
Social
spam.
Security now. They just
Call
need
me
to
on my
call.
spam. I'll pay you in Apple gift cards. But so for example, she went to the, I think it's called the Frank Irwin Center or whatever in Austin. It's the basketball center, whatever. That's not a giant venue. And Adele chose to go there. And I'm like, you could have sold out the AT&T Center or something like that. But Austin doesn't have giant venues. So that's why a lot of big acts will not go there unless it's like a giant music festival or like private shows.
Yeah, usually like the blues rock stuff's like at Stubbs or
Yeah.
or
And like John Mayer's like coming here next week. What? Y'all want to go? But yeah. But he's coming here. He won't go to Austin just because the venues won't like hold the right amount of crowds.
Anyways, so I got this album, and it's pretty interesting. I took a picture on my Instagram, and I took a picture of the back of this thing. I was reading the back of this, and it's got all this info and all the players and the song list and yada yada yada. But there's a section that says, I thought this is really interesting. It says, this is a high fidelity record. Steely Dan uses specially constructed 24-channel tape recorder, a state-of-the-art 36 input mix down, computerized mix down. Dude, this was released in 75. When did CDs come out? That was the 80s.
Well, you had no.
no.
CDs you had Laserdisc, which was like movies. That was like early 90s. CDs were not out until about,
Oh, look, August of 1982.
There you go, man.
gonna guess. But look, the first commercial wasn't until August 17th, 1982. I thought it said 92.
Yeah, man.
That's rowdy.
But people weren't buying CDs.
They weren't as popular because there was cassettes and stuff, right?
Dude, cassettes were the worst.
They don't sound very good.
But cassettes are dope. Cassettes have that nice little sound when you like put them in like a cassette player. It's like
Hey, what kind of music do you listen to, Abe?
No.
Top 40.
Yeah, that's why you like cassettes. Yeah.
Anyways, so
Do you even have a record player, Nathan?
I do.
yeah, he does.
Okay, well,
He's
sounds
got some
great.
pretty amazing 80s.
Well, y'all haven't
records
seen my
as
mom's
well.
record collection, which she still is down to give you a Steely Dan.
I
one.
would love that.
She needs to find it. I love my mom, but I feel like she's turning into a hoarder when it comes to records.
Dude,
I walked into her room.
Hey, that's
which is
fine.
fine.
give them to us.
Which is fine, but I mean, like a bunch of them, I've gone in there and it's been like $3 from Goodwill. Like, and I look at the price tags. I'm like, Mom, do you even know these artists, or are you just buying a ton of records?
she could have some good stuff in there, man. You never know.
She really could. If y'all want to come over one day and just go through all of it, she's got
Let's do
literally hundreds. You
Let's
think
do it.
Jason Tanteros has a lot? My mom has like a ton. So, anyways, I don't know what they are, but yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, just thinking about this era, 75. This was released in 75, but I mean, how did you listen to music in 75?
You went
Is-
to shows.
You went to shows and you bought vinyls.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy to think about. So keep that in mind. This is vinyl era, which is pretty crazy. A lot different than what we're used to now with instant, listen to music, instant, listen to whatever you want. But anyways, I was reading this thing, and so I've read a lot of interviews about Steely Dan and their recording techniques and whatnot, because obviously Nathan and I are both sound guys, and we really like Steely Dan and just their techniques. I don't know. Really interesting.
The quality
to us.
seems to be like superior to anything else at the time.
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
why when you listen to it, it's like, I wonder how they did it, and then it takes you down this rabbit hole of sound and
interviews
audio
with engineers and producers and whatnot. But so the back of this says, what does it say? So it says recorded on the 36 input computerized mixdown console and and it literally says and some very expensive German microphones. That's hilarious.
very expensive, huh?
And then it says individual microphone equalization is frowned upon. So I was like thinking like, okay, I remember I heard there was an album, and this may or may not be true, but there was a Steely Dan album that they didn't use any EQ at all whatsoever. And I, for some reason, remember that being like a thing. But I digress. Anyways, so I was like, okay, I wonder if this is the album, Katie Lied, that had no EQ on it. Well, so I'm looking up this album, and this album is actually one of 3 Steely Dan cases that that article is super long, and that's not the one. That article talks about how there's this article that basically talks about how I think it was either the producer or the engineer, or probably a collection of both of them. They basically would, if something didn't sound right, they would go get new drummers, new guitar players. Like they would go to a completely different studio. Like if it didn't sound right, they weren't like, oh, let's EQ it. They would, choose the right microphones. They would try different microphones and whatnot. And that was just their way of doing things back in the day.
Gotcha.
But this album, Katie Lied, is one of 3 albums that had sort of like issues in the way that they made them. I know one of the albums, I want to say it's Gaucho, but I could be wrong. But basically, one of the assistant engineers like essentially deleted one of the songs.
What?
Yeah, they had like laid it down, and
This
you got
is like before backups. And
yeah,
everything.
you got to think this is even before, like this album, for instance, is before
Gosh.
even Pro Tools. Like Pro Tools came out in the 80s,
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
thought it was early 90s Pro Tools came out.
It's whenever
might have
CDs
been-
came out.
It might have been late 80s. I know that Two Against Nature, Steely Dan was recorded. Obviously all analog, but then it was
Yeah, it was
recorded.
1991 was the first version of Pro Tools.
Yeah. So this is like when you record, you have people actively mixing, and then the performance is finished, and then, all right, let's listen to it and see if it's like we're going to use it, because that's it. It's done. Like what we just did is one take, and that's either it or it isn't. So this song got deleted basically, and they tried to redo it, and they didn't like it. These guys are insane perfectionists. But anyways, so this album, Katie Lied, is one of 3 albums that had some issues. And let's see, if you scroll down to, oh, you don't have to scroll down that far. It's basically what happened is, and I don't really know how it was back in the day. Like, it's obviously, because this happened a few times to a couple different artists, but where like stuff got messed up. Basically, I guess when they were pressing, it's not pressing, but it's a process right before pressing an album. And what happened is like, I guess something along the lines of they had to slow it down to half speed, and then they ran it through this machine, and the machine processed it in some kind of way, but they ran it at half speed because it was less like it was less wear and tear on the machine itself.
Yeah.
But anyways, they had to do that. There's like all this crazy stuff back in the day that it took to make an album. It's like so foreign to stuff nowadays.
So they put the record through a noise reduction system.
Yeah.
Something that just came out in the market and it ruined the record.
Yeah. It was a DBX noise reduction system.
I wonder what convinced them.
It was new. It was the newest, latest, and greatest. And if you think about it, DBX is a pretty well-known company nowadays. I don't know how big it was back in the day, but basically, from what I gather, they were talking to Gary Katz, and I guess it ruined it in a sense. First of all, I've listened to it, and I think it sounds amazing, but apparently it caused like volume increases amongst like certain instruments. Very weird. I don't know. I don't know if basically in this interview they're talking about how none of them listen to the album anymore because it just brings back bad memories, and they never fixed it. But I listened to it and I can't hear anything. I think it sounds awesome. But also in that whole process of slowing it down to half speed to preserve the mechanical whatever, it adds like all this low end, and there is a lot of low end in this album, which is pretty crazy. But
Which might not be a bad thing, you know?
yeah,
The other ones don't have a lot of low end.
Yeah, a lot of the other Steely Dan albums are kind of thin.
I
There's
looked-
a low end.
I looked up Steely Dan right now. For those of you who don't know, there is not one. I thought Steely Dan was a person who played music. Steely Dan, there's
I thought
not
it
a
was a
person
guy
named.
in a straw hat.
There's literally not one person here named Dan in this whole band.
Yeah. Do you know
What's-
what Steely Dan is? Steely Dan
No,
means?
you're gonna tell me. What is
Nathan, Nathan, do you know?
Enlighten us, Trent.
Doesn't it mean it's like a sex toy? Like Steely Dan, the word is like a sex toy, I believe. Probably.
You're probably right.
Yeah. And is reference
Oh my gosh. Yep. It's a steam powered one too.
a steam powered sex toy?
Yep.
A steam powered dildo.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it is.
Now
I've
you know.
literally been thinking it was a person this entire time. So
A
I was like, oh, I want to go
Steely
see.
Dan.
Like, I was literally about to say, is Steely Dan still alive? I thought it was a person.
Nope.
Well, not anymore. It's steam powered. That was 1800s.
There's
Back-
nobody alive from
Back,
1800s
back in the
anymore, is there?
railroad system. Yeah.
Is there anybody alive from? Look, it pops up. Oh, not Wizard of Oz.
No,
Dang it.
Abe. They'd be like 130.
No, there's literally people that live super old.
I mean,
I almost
maybe
said 130
late.
like an idiot.
Is there anybody
Who's the
alive?
oldest person ever?
This woman is the only person left born in the 1800s. Let's check
This
this
is
out.
published last year.
Oh, she's
she
probably
might
3
have-
years ago. So the death of okay, yeah, she died.
She did.
Wow. She was born 1 month before 1900. Could you imagine you've been alive in the 1800s, the 1900s, and the 2000s?
Can you imagine the things that, like her entire life, what she saw?
She remembers the Titanic.
Dude, and then the last thing she saw was just,
Somebody flossing.
somebody flossing, dude.
And
that's it.
And she's like, oh.
She's like, I'm over it. Done.
She went out to somebody requesting money on a GoFundMe account. Like,
Oh, these
Don't get me started on GoFundMe. account.
GoFundMe requesters. That's a topic for a different day. But stop requesting.
Fully
a bunch of
fund
money
my
on GoFundMe.
vacation.
I feel like if I lived to be 100, I'd be like, you know what? I did it, dude. I freaking did it. There's nothing left.
I don't know if I want to get that old.
I do. I want to get 100 years old.
Yeah,
I
dude,
don't
that's
know.
I want to wake
The
up and
thing
have
is-
coffee with you guys when I'm 100.
We're still going to be going to Theory Coffee.
Dude, and he's going to still be alive and kicking too, man.
That's all that cool. The thing with getting super old, it's really sad because by the time we're all 100,
Yeah,
There's
guarantee
people-
you all three of us
terrible.
aren't going to be here.
There's people that are 93 years old and they're still driving and they're still
Yeah. I have finger runners. That's an
active
87-year-old lady.
Active members of society, like doing their thing. They're not falling over. Like it's possible.
I don't think people.
They're not driving with their mouth open like they look like they're just, they don't know where they are.
If
and,
you're
like,
looking
at
online,
all.
it's this. It's this. This is the thing. It's like,
It's like you look over at him and you're like, dude, does that guy know where he is?
For sure
Like
lost.
he looks like he's just. I've been driving for 35 minutes and I don't know where I'm going.
It happens, man. People get lost.
That's sad, man. That's
That
like
is
you don't want to get
super
to that
sad.
point.
But I mean, it's possible.
but you know how sad it is? I guess you don't cry anymore at funerals at that point because you're like, well, man, Peter, I went to coffee with him for 30 years.
would've been
Now he's
sad,
gone.
Like 50 years ago, but not anymore. Just got too old. Yeah.
Yep. Me and him used to go to school all the time. We used to hang. It was my best friend. Yep, he's dead now. But literally everyone's dead. Like, I don't know if I don't want to get to
feel
the point. I don't
like-
want to wear diapers. I don't want to do anything like that. If I get to like 75 and it's like, Abe, you got to start using diapers. Like, I'd be like, well,
If you had a,
I think it's
like,
time for
a
me to
choice
go.
on how you'd go out, how would you go out?
not in diapers.
I already told Trent, man, I would strap myself to one of the newer Elon Musk rockets.
And just go in space.
Dude, I would go into space, but I'd be on the one that explodes, not the one that makes it to the mission. It's just the jet boosters.
Just
That
the
way,
ones
like
that get
right,
you up there.
Dude,
dude, just
keep
to
testing.
get just enough to get me up there, and then just I can see it now. I'm like 104. I'm strapped. I'm seeing the entire Earth, and then I lose consciousness, and it's just an explosion.
You don't want to be actually launched into space with no trajectory. It's just like, all right, bye. And it's just gone. And you're just
No,
going forever. Your body's just traveling until it burns up or hits something. And it's just going on forever.
Nah, I'd rather explode.
No. I would want to just keep going. Just like, all right, launch me, cut me
Oh,
loose,
like,
and just like and
Give
you're
you
just-
give you like a few days worth of oxygen and just no food.
give
just
me like
a
a day or
slow,
two.
painful death.
No, no,
Like
no, no,
give-
no, no, no,
I would
no,
have
no.
a Whopper in my spacesuit. I would have a Whopper. I'd have a Whopper and then like 2 packets of ketchup and oxygen enough for like a day. And then, dude, right when my oxygen's going out, I'm gonna start eating the Whopper. And then I'm gonna go out eating the Whopper. Yeah. So
I'd want a day's worth of oxygen, and then I'd want a sedative. It's planned to go off at the 24-hour mark. It's a sedative. It's like a little gas. It puts me to bed, and then as soon as I'm asleep, like the suit knows, then it kind of unleashes the vacuum, and your body just like
It's very interesting. You've thought about this, obviously.
no, just now. But think about it. Like I'd want to see space for a day, and then be lonely enough to where I'm just like, all right, dude, I'm ready to get this
I don't know,
done.
man. What
I
if
hit
you
a
were-
button.
You were out there
I get-
long enough, and you saw something that you wish you didn't see, and then kind of like, dude, I don't want to die now,
No, if I saw
I
something,
have to go
didn't
back and
see,
save them.
dude.
But you can't get true. You saw something headed that way, and it's like, hey, you have the power to stop this, but you're dead. Like, I don't know. I think there's a bunch of weird stuff in space. But
Talking about old people not crying at funerals.
I worked a lot of funerals, man.
I want to say, I mean,
they
I
just want to
kinda-
go home. They're tired.
Well, I kind of know what you mean because I've worked a lot of funerals too,
Yeah.
and the old people are typically just
Yeah,
there.
it's kind of like a celebration kind of
Gladys,
thing.
Fred,
it's like,
you
dude,
ready
you
to
know what,
go?
man? This guy lived a super cool life.
Well,
He
if
was
you think
so
about
old.
it too, they probably had a lot of years with that said
Yeah.
person, as opposed to
Yeah,
you know.
they've had more than like if we lose somebody.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
probably had crazy, amazing experiences.
So why aren't they sad?
Because they,
Oh, man.
because they
got to live their life.
They lived
That's
lives
true.
together,
But then it's so sad to think it'll probably never happen again.
and it probably won't happen to us because we're on our phones all day long. You know, we don't really have real experiences.
Speaking of phones, do y'all remember that one time Nathan had an Android? Anyways.
How much are you on your phone
Oh my gosh.
in a day?
Well, we have that new stupid little app.
The
on
screen
here.
time thing?
Yeah. Let's
What's your
see.
screen time thing? Today was not too bad, but
Dude, today was a lot probably for me.
You know what? Now that I'm at work,
I
it's probably still the same.
I have today was 6 hours 13 minutes screen on time.
Is that this first number that we're seeing?
Yeah,
Holy cow, Trent.
yeah, I'm on my phone a lot. That's
Where do you find that, guys?
it's in settings and it's
On Android, they don't have it, Nathan.
Wait,
It's a couple things down. It's
You
right,
just got to check the battery level.
It's right under the do not disturb thing. There isn't there a thing where you can see Trent's phone?
There is. There's a couple other settings down here at the bottom.
YouTube almost 2 hours.
dude, I was on my phone for 7 hours today. Good grief.
So click on the first thing, Nathan's iPhone or whatever, and it'll show you the apps that you
Yeah.
use. What are your most used apps? Mine are YouTube first, an hour and 52 minutes today.
yeah,
and
mine's
then-
mine's all YouTube videos.
And then Instagram.
Oh, but you
today
know
was
what,
an hour and
dude?
a half.
This started at midnight, and
It's the day's not even over.
well, it's because I listen to ASMR playlists to go to sleep sometimes.
Oh, that's true. Me
So
too.
as of today at 10:37 p.m., I've done 2 hours and 38 minutes, which is really good for me. My Instagram, though, was at 34 minutes, Facebook 20 minutes, then it just goes down from there. But last 7
Hey,
days,
can you take a sip of water real
Oh.
quick, Abe?
me?
Yeah, dude, you're getting that that
getting that-
disgusting mouth sound.
Last 7 days for me, I've spent 14 hours on Instagram.
What was your average for your
That's
last
like
7 days?
2 hours a day at least. Average, 6 hours.
Dude,
6
you're
We're
out
hitting
there
about the
living
same.
life, Trent.
Dude,
I'm at a 6 hour, 7 minute.
I'm looking at
my
it.
Instagram. Dude, my
The
Instagram.
memes are too good right now.
What's your Instagram level?
for 7 days is 14 hours 1 minute.
Wow, 10 hours, 53 minutes. Thought I beat
Spent
you.
4 hours more a week.
Pickups. How many times did you pick up your phone per day? Scroll down.
Pickups.
Yeah. Like open it up and unlock your phone and all that.
Oh.
121 per day for me. Well, 118.
118 for me. Is there to
Mine's
see?
114.
Is there to see per day? Oh,
Yes.
pickups
So
a day.
go back to today.
Pickups 5 per hour. That's total pickups 109 times
For what, today?
for today.
Yeah, I had 105 today. Messages 15. All that. That's crazy. That's insane. Notifications 159.
Dude, I got to get off Instagram, man.
I would love to see what this number changes. If I delete Instagram for 5 days, how much this changes.
Social media cleanse.
Social media. I did it for 40 days once.
I've been.
It was amazing.
That's a long time, man. I would think a month would be pretty long.
After the I think I went like 42, 43 days. I was like, I don't really care. But
I've been thinking about doing it, but I guess my main excuse is like I like posting pictures and
Yeah.
stuff, and
but it's kind of nice when you do take that break and like, dude, this was the last picture I posted like a month ago. So much has changed.
I tell myself I like posting, but I definitely consume more than I post.
Oh yeah.
So, but not being able to post is one of my excuses for not like putting it down and deleting it for a little while and
Yeah.
seeing what happens. But that kind of makes me want to like start like a blog on my website. I like the having the profile with all of your stuff on it. Like I like having that for me.
yeah.
I don't really care about getting a bunch of likes. I don't even get that many likes. I don't even have that many followers.
2,600.
I have like less
I
than
still
five.
can't swipe up.
I have
but
less
whatever.
than 500. But
That's good. Those
it's-
are organic followers. For
But it's
you.
fun to look back on. But that's my excuse is like, well, I like posting and I like
Yeah.
having like the history of all of, the stuff that I've done. And,
Yeah.
But I could
I
just
want to
do
go back
that.
and see it.
I could just do that with a blog on like my own website, and then I could write
Yeah.
whatever I want.
You know
I
how we
might
always
do
have
that.
to look at Mr. Hernandez's TV to see back on like all the kids and everyone's memories and all that? Our kids will literally be able to look up that guy named Abe, follow me, and then literally see all of our posts. Like our kids will always know like, oh, this is
I
who
know what
these
you
are
were
who
up
my
to like
parents
your
are.
entire life.
Exactly. Unless it goes away like MySpace did, which all my stuff on all of my high school chronicled like online life
Like
is
I'd love
completely
to
gone.
see my Snapchats.
Oh god.
Like the stuff that I have sent to people and what they've sent to me, I would love to rewatch some of that stuff because it was like It was used for the dumbest things, especially Snapchat. It was like, oh, this is the app that I'm not going to be serious on.
I definitely couldn't get rid of YouTube because I really like YouTube.
Yeah.
And I learn a lot of things, and I watch a lot of funny stuff, and I follow a lot of people.
It's just the same as people back in the day watching cable. You know, you watch YouTube now.
Yeah.
True.
But I do spend way too much time mindlessly scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about deleting it for a little while.
I noticed my Explore page changes like every month. It's like completely different.
Listens
It's
to you
just
and gives
some-
you ads. How about that?
Yep.
Creepy FBI
We're gonna get
stuff.
an ad tonight on like fraud, robocaller. I can help you with that.
H&R Block.
H&R Block and TurboTax.
It's not even tax season,
It's
bro.
debt
We're
watch.
gonna
Look,
start
I'm gonna
getting
scroll
some
my
ads
Instagram right
on
now.
TurboTax. Just wait and see. We'll wait and see. Let's see. TurboTax.
The other night at dinner, we were all talking about some crazy like conspiracy theory stuff, and so the conversations that we were having was like super broad, and then talking about conspiracy theories and like how they're listening to on your phone. We all opened up our phone and we were like, let's see what kind of ads we were getting, and we were getting relevant ads. It was crazy. I can't remember. We were at some point talking about Lysol. And there's Lysol ads. It was pretty nuts. Are you getting any crazy ads?
No, nothing.
I got one for Dr. Pepper.
I didn't get anything good. I was really hoping I'd get some because that would be awesome.
Instagram is the scariest in terms of like the ads you get. I got an HP ad.
Okay, this is actually kind of weird. You know.
Got a
I got a Rockstar Games one, and we just pulled up Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
hilarious.
I got an Airwick ad.
This isn't an ad, but I literally had a friend just text me because earlier they asked me if I have an Apple Watch, and I said Apple Watch for life. And you know what they responded? I have an Android. Womp, womp, womp. And I guarantee these emojis look all pixelated on their phone.
Did you know that there's a flag in the Instagram, or not Instagram, in the Apple keyboard, and it's supposed to be the Texas flag, but it's wrong. I actually don't know if
No,
it's
it's the
supposed to.
Chile flag. Chile.
Oh, that's what it is.
I know. I thought it was Texas too, and I was like, dude, they
It's
made
not
this
the Texas
completely
flag.
wrong. Yeah, it's not the Texas flag. I know. Pues nombre. I hear you.
Oh, dude, I got a Dr. Pepper ad too. That's so weird.
I didn't get any ads.
Yeah. Anyways, I've been thinking about deleting it. I might.
Maybe we could try it out. Well, one of us has to keep it because we got to keep up with that Chew doing Instagram, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
you'll
we're
see some
gonna-
stuff on there soon. Well,
Yeah.
by the time you hear this, we'll have stuff on there.
Yeah, we'll be doing some clips.
It'll be good stuff. So,
Well,
guys, I got work tomorrow.
I also have work tomorrow.
yeah, we're recording this at night. So see you guys later. Follow us on all the social media things. And peace out. See
Yeah.
you next week.
We'll do your thing. Anyways, I'm Abe.
I'm Trent.
We're
And you
still
guys already
introducing
know
ourselves,
this. We
Well,
don't have to-
we have to tell them who
Okay,
we are
okay.
on the way out.
Trent. I'm Trent. You guys
Trent.
know.
I'm Nathan.
Anyways, we're over now. Chew doing. Follow us. Bada bing, bada boom.